Most people don't give quarters a second thought. They jingle in pockets, disappear into vending machines, or sit forgotten in cup holders. Scratched, worn, and dirty quarters are usually the first to be spent, without hesitation. But what if those exact coins, the ones most people ignore, were actually hiding values reaching into the hundreds of thousands of dollars? Today, we're diving into some of the most surprising Washington quarters ever discovered in circulation. These coins don't sparkle. They aren't pristine. In fact, many of them look downright ugly. Yet once you understand their condition, rarity, and the hidden mint errors they carry, everything changes. From heavily circulated quarters to extreme mint mistakes, each coin in this list proves one powerful truth: value does not always come from shine. Let's start with a simple idea that many new collectors struggle to accept. In most hobbies, condition is king. Coins are no different, except when they are. While high-grade, flawless coins often command strong prices, there are specific cases where low-grade, worn coins can dramatically outperform perfect examples. The reason? Errors and rarity that survive circulation against all odds. The Washington quarter has been minted since 1932, making it one of the longest-running U.S. coin designs. Over billions of coins were struck, which leads many people to believe they're all common. But hidden among those billions are mistakes, some so dramatic, so rare, that they turn ordinary pocket change into legendary finds. One of the most misunderstood categories is the heavily circulated error. Many collectors assume that wear ruins value. In reality, heavy wear can sometimes confirm authenticity. When a dramatic error shows consistent circulation wear, it proves the coin wasn't altered after minting. Scratches soften, rims flatten, and surfaces darken, yet the error remains, locked into the metal itself. Take off-center strikes, for example. Washington quarters struck significantly off-center can be worth thousands, even in poor condition. If the date is visible and the strike is dramatic enough, collectors don't care if the coin is worn smooth. In fact, an off-center quarter that spent decades in circulation tells a story, one of survival. These coins weren't preserved in collections, they were used, lost, and rediscovered. Another category that shocks people is wrong planchette errors. Imagine a Washington quarter struck on a planchette meant for a different denomination. These coins often look strange, thin, or oddly colored. Some appear smaller than normal, others weigh far less than they should. Even when scratched or dirty, these errors can be worth tens of thousands of dollars because they simply shouldn't exist. Now let's talk about mint errors that hide in plain sight. One of the most dangerous assumptions collectors make is that an error must be obvious. In reality, some of the most valuable errors are subtle. Double strikes, rotated dies, and partial color errors can be overlooked for decades. A worn quarter with a rotated reverse might look normal unless you line it up carefully. Once discovered, however, its value can skyrocket. Die cracks and cuds are another overlooked area. Most people see cracks as damage, but true die cracks occur during the minting process when a damaged die continues striking coins. Large retained cuds, where a piece of the die breaks away but stays partially attached, can add enormous value. Even on low-grade quarters, a massive cud can turn a face value coin into a 4- or 5-figure collectible. This brings us to an important truth: collectors don't always want perfect coins. They want interesting coins, coins that shouldn't exist. Coins that reveal mistakes in a system designed for perfection. One of the most talked about dates in modern Washington quarter collecting is the 199 on the surface. This coin seems incredibly ordinary. Denver minted hundreds of millions of them. In normal condition, they're worth exactly 25 cents. But when paired with the right error, everything changes. Rare 199 quarters with dramatic double dies, major off-center strikes, or wrong planchette errors have stunned collectors. In extreme cases, especially when errors are unique or among only a handful known, prices can climb into shocking territory. These aren't coins you'll find slammed in every auction, they're discoveries. Accidental treasures pulled from circulation by someone paying attention. What makes these coins so valuable isn't just the error, it's the timing. Many modern errors weren't saved because collectors assumed modern coins couldn't be valuable. As a result, genuine error survivors are often heavily worn. Ironically, that wear makes them even rarer today. Another fascinating category is multi-strike errors. These quarters were struck more than once, sometimes at different angles, sometimes partially outside the collar. The result can look chaotic, overlapping designs, distorted lettering, and warped shapes. These coins almost never look nice, yet collectors love them because each one is unique. No two multi-strike errors are exactly alike. Then there are clipped plankets. These occur when a blank is improperly cut from the metal strip, leaving a curved or straight missing section. When genuine, clips often show metal flow and distortion opposite the missing area. Even with heavy wear, a real mint clip is easy to authenticate and highly desirable. So how do collectors identify these rare quarters among everyday change? First, they slow down. They look at shape, weight, alignment, and strike quality. They rotate the coin. They compare it to known examples, and most importantly, they don't dismiss a coin just because it looks worn or dirty. Cleaning is another critical topic. Many valuable error quarters have been ruined by well-meaning owners trying to make them look better. Cleaning destroys surfaces, removes metal, and can slash value instantly. A dark, ugly coin is far better than a shiny, damaged one. One of the biggest myths in coin collecting is that treasure only comes from bank vaults or pristine rolls. In reality, some of the greatest finds came from pocket change, parking lots, and old jars. The final coin in this discussion proves that point better than any other. Imagine a Washington quarter, worn nearly smooth, found in circulation. At first glance, it looks like nothing special. But closer inspection reveals a massive mint error, something so extreme that experts believe only one or two examples exist. That coin, despite its condition, becomes a centerpiece. A six-figure rarity, not because it's pretty, but because it's impossible. And that's the biggest lesson of all. Value isn't always about shine. Sometimes it's about mistakes, survival, and knowing what others overlook. So the next time you get change, don't rush to spend it. Look closely, rotate the coin, check the edges. Because the quarter everyone else ignores might just be hiding a story and a value that changes everything.